Okay. Blah blah blah. Testing audio. So cool. Okay, we're gonna first of all take a note. We're gonna actually record this time. Last time I just copied the stream and that looked like crap. So we're gonna actually record on the camera. Anywho, introduction. This is the battery to the e-bike I use, which I didn't use for the last week or so, because there was too much snow. The sidewalks were totally snowed in. And now the sidewalks are all melted up again. So I go to use it and I find out it's not working. It's not outputting anything. It does have a good sign is when I turn the battery on, the light does come on. However, when I go to charge it, the charger does not indicate that it is charging. It stays green, which it should go to red if it starts charging. So it's not accepting charge, and the bike also, the speed controller was not turning on, which means it's not outputting power. So the light thankfully does light up here, which means that it's not all bad. Apparently this is a common problem with these batteries, although I don't really know. This is a much older model. So this is a very early model, which means two things. Number one, it's prone to severe problems, and number two, it's probably going to be really easy to disassemble and work on. So it doesn't look like it's anything difficult. Hopefully we can get it done. Yeah, I had a crap out on me today, so this stream's just kind of slapped together, but let's get going. Hopefully I don't have to use any of the pliers or vice grips or anything that would be damaging to this thing. Hopefully it's just screwdrivers and multimeters today. I have no clue what's wrong with it. I have no clue what it even looks like inside. So we're finding out together. How fun is that? Oh, Jesus, I'm an idiot. Hey, let me take that off the screen. I'm a professional streamer, as you can tell. Hopefully the camera doesn't have trouble, because I'm doing pretty much everything I can with it. There's a chance that camera might turn off because I'm recording, I'm outputting, and I have the light on, all on battery, so I don't know if it's actually able to do all those things at the same time, but hopefully the feed doesn't just cut out. Ah! Okay. I don't know what this is, like a piece of metal. I don't know what the deal with that is. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and this is also like the seat too, which is kind of neat. Holy cow. Okay, that can go away. Whoa, baby. Check that out. There's the battery. That is not at all how I thought this would be. That's a good question. 36 volts. Although the charger is impossible to read. The charger is rated for 42 volts at 2 amps, so it actually charges at about 80 watts, which is a standard amount. About the standard amount, yeah. Okay, there is a lot going on in here, including something that's disconnected. What? I don't know how to feel about that. I guess that's just something I don't have then. I don't know. Alright, first thing, making sure everything's actually connected. Most common failure point on old things, which would not be this, but on like old things, like 10, 20, 30 years old, is connections. But everything looks just fine here. Let's see if I magically fix it just by opening it up. Nope. Alright. Oh man, someone tells me I'm gonna have to break into this box, which I'm not super excited about. The battery pack I think is actually gonna be just fine. I don't think that's gonna have any problems whatsoever. Alright, the next thing we can do is disconnect everything and then reconnect it all. To hopefully reset any electronics that may be stopping it from starting. Let's try the easy things first before we dig too deep. Nope. Yeah, well, that's how many... Oh, baby, that's why. 418 watt hours. That's actually a really small battery for that much. That's a nice battery. 418 watt hours. Let me put that in a term that would make sense. So that could run a normal microwave for about half an hour. Or a space heater for maybe about 15 minutes. Which is a lot. That is a lot. For a battery, anyway. Well, you suck. Well, actually, that's probably a smart thing. They silicone sealed over all the screws and the nuts. Which is probably a smart thing. So they don't come undone inside. 18650. There's all the fun stuff if you can read any of that. But it's a Super 73. I think they make all their own stuff. It's nothing like a standard battery type. It's custom made for this, basically. Because this was also early on in the e-bike days, relatively. This was like 2018 or 2020, something like that. This is an older bike, yeah, which means it's going to be pretty much impossible to get parts for it. Working parts, anyway. So, trying to see if I can fix it. Alright, next thing is just making sure I can actually see power from here. So, I'm going to take the power through the socket anyway. 200 volts probably, yeah. Stick that in there. You should see voltage. I don't see voltage. What? What do you mean I don't see voltage? Huh? The heck? Let me try that again. How am I not seeing voltage? Tell tell me this is a problem? I doubt it. That would... Well, but that wouldn't explain why the battery's not doing any... Or the bike's not doing anything. It should still show the... It should still power the actual speed controller. And this could be... Oh, that actually could be it. That could be looking... I thought they stopped doing... I would have hoped they'd stop doing that. Basically, this was kind of left on for a week in the cold garage, so there is a slight chance. I thought they would stop doing that, but basically, I don't know if you knew, but like Ryobi and like some drill batteries, older, like a while ago, I don't know if it's still happening, but if you ran them, the batteries so low to the point they're literally flat, the charging circuitry in the battery could not tell the charger to charge the battery. So you'd basically have a dud battery just because it's so dead that it would not be able to tell the charger to charge it. And the only way to actually charge it from there would literally be open the battery up and manually charge the cells, which is an awful process. I would hope they would have fixed that, because that was not fun. But there's a chance, which is weird though, because this LED is still coming on. If the LED's lit, I'm sure it can tell the charger to charge. However, this is an only 2-pin DC, which would make no sense how that would even be here, because usually they need some sort of data or sense pin to do that. And I don't think this is a smart enough charger to do that. I'm not entirely sure where to go about this. But, now is it the charger? I doubt it. I doubt it's the charger, but I kind of want to make sure that it's not the charger before I go any further. But That's a tricky thing. That's a tricky thing. That is a good question. I don't know if I can measure that. Oh, wait, it's right here. Damn, those are some connectors. Ooh, those are wide. Let's see what this is at. That is a good question. What voltage the battery... Wait, what? Oh. Oh, okay. That's the high power. We are looking at 0.1 volts. The battery is apparently at right now. Shit. Well, no, that can't be right. Because if that was the case, there's no way the LED would even be on. You need at least 1.5 volts for an LED. That's wild. Okay. Stop it. Get in there. Wait, is this the right one? Yeah. Okay, so this is for the LED. Okay. Alright, I'm seeing 11 volts. 11 and almost 12 volts. Interesting. So this is coming straight out of the battery, but that's probably like switched. So that's probably not an issue. What the heck? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So we got at least 12 volts coming out of the battery, and that's regulated. So we probably have more than 12 volts, which would be more than enough to drive any electronics, including the speed controller. Probably. Because if we got 12 volts at the light, we should definitely have logic 5. Okay, well here, what's this? This is going to the board. What are we seeing here? Zero. What the? What? Oh, wait, no. Dumbass. That is coming in from the power supply. Not the board. It's not going to the board. Okay, Huh. Oh, this doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Does this tell me to pin out? Oh god, this is so hard to see. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, minus on outside. So we've got at least 12 volts on the battery. I don't know how to see the full output. I don't think I can. I think the battery is physically sealed. And I don't think I'm too keen on popping the battery open. But the driver, why not? So, looks like we need to tack these screws down here. Ah! The metal box, that's where the driving circuitry, or like the high power circuitry is. Relatively high power anyway. Well, that's like what's actually powering the motor. And probably all like any computers in there. What? Wait, what? That's weird. Okay, so this kind of should pop out, maybe? Well, there is a lot of things in the way, but... darn it. As well as... Okay, pretty much everything is going to stop this from happening. What am I on? What am I stuck on? Oh, shoot. Are there screws I can't get to? You gotta be kidding me. No way. There might be. There might be screws I can't get to. Yeah. This was not really designed to come apart. It was designed to get into it easily, but take apart for, like, finding what went wrong in, like, manufacturing? Sure. Putting it back together to be used again? Not really. Huh. Alright. Let's see. Alright, before I get this apart any further, I want to try seeing if it will accept power if I give it to it directly. If not, then sure, we can try to be a little more investigating it. Yeah. Alright, give me a second. Let me break out my benchtop power supply, and we'll try to get this thing wired up. Let's see if it accepts any power whatsoever. See. Or maybe if it's just the charger that's not giving it any for some reason. Oh, that. What? Are you kidding me? Where's the power cord? Oh, come on. I always have one floating around. Where is it? Just pull it out. Alright, you know what? Where is it? Ah, Jesus. Alright, I'll steal this one. But I'm gonna forget I stole it. I'm gonna be like, why isn't this working? Alright. Oh. Try to get this in frame. I'm kind of scared of this thing still. Yeah, I'm still an absolute baby when it comes to any sort of power that's like above 12 volts. Which is hilarious because I worked on pinball machines for a living. Okay. Alright, this thing has terrible contact too. Okay, so, that has terrible contact. Can I fix that? Oh, I think I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can pry these apart. Bear with me. Sure. Alright. Let's see if that's any better. Oh, that's loads better. Kinda. Sorta. Maybe. Okay, we got those. Now, where do I have one of those? Oh, I gotta find one of those. I got one of those somewhere, right? Surely. Oh, come on, I got loads of those. I know I bought a ton of those. Just gotta find one. again. Come on. You're kidding me, right? How can I not find one? Oops. Oh, jeez. Get that out of there. We're having a great time. Just imagine all the fun I'm having going through my closet of electronics. Dude, I bought so many of those. How can I not find one? Oh, hey. That's a thing. What the? Oh. Oh my god, how can I not find one? I have so many! Alright, you know what? Sure. Is that even right? Guess we're making our own. Whatever. I give up. I can't find the stupid ones. Does that fit? That fits. Perfect. Okay, we'll just deal with this clipping I have. Well, if it does, then it'd be fun. For a little bit. Before it would not be very fun. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. How do I know if I have this in the right way? Hold on. There's a lot of points for error in this. Okay, black was the outside, or minus was outside, right? Minus is outside. Okay. Black is minus. Probably. Red is plus. I'm gonna unplug that. I mean, it's probably not gonna do anything if I have it wired incorrectly. Okay, what are we going for? Not 60 volts. Jesus. What is this running at? 42 volts. We're gonna run it at, we'll run it at, I don't know, like 30. We'll run it at 30 to start with. 2 amps. We're going to cap it at 1 amp to start with. You know what? No. We're going to cap it at like 0.1 amp to start with, which will be 3 watts. I'm a little more comfortable with 3 watts going wrong than 30 watts going wrong. All right. Output enable. Okay. Let's do a dummy check. Make sure. So if this is right, I should see positive 3 volts. Well, that was dumb of me because I just did that. Or positive 30. I just had that on resistance mode. I see no voltage. Would you maybe work for once? There's 30 volts. Awesome. Okay. All right. And let me push down here. Okay, we're seeing... Ooh, that's really good. Okay, that is really good. Okay. That was awesome. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, that is extremely good. Wait! Hold on, do that again. Stop it. Would you get a good contact in there? Jesus. 13 volts. Okay, good. That tells me a lot. Okay. So, I don't know how much you can see that. But when I make contact, what's happening is it's dropping to 13 volts. And it's pretty much maxing out the amperage, which is really good for... Maybe. Let me switch these around and see what happens, just in case. Whoa! Oh, wait. Dumbass. That's because, yeah. Okay. Alright, that's not the good way. Don't do that. Okay. Oh my god, I can hear that arcing. That pin is awful. Okay. Okay, so don't do it reverse polarity because that was a dead short apparently. That's not good. Why would it do that? Unless it has no Oh no, it might not have no protection, so I might have pretty much reversed the battery, which is not good. So I would have that would have pretty much tried to put the battery into here. That would have been bad. Okay, but the correct way, all right, back to originally, it drops to, like, now it's 15 volts, and it's at pretty much the max wattage it could be allowed for the amps, which is good, because that means that I'm actually charging the battery right now. And if I was charging a capacitor, the wattage would be going down, I think. Which means it is most likely that I am charging a battery. But the voltage is going up really fast. Which means the battery was both really dead at just barely enough to light that, apparently. It was literally started out at like 13 volts. It's going up really fast, but this is also at like the very bottom of the battery range, so that's actually expected. Because this is basically dead still. This battery would still be considered dead, even at only 18 volts. Probably around like 22 or 20... Or wait, no, is it a 36? Yeah, 36 volt. So probably around like 25 volts is probably where it'd be pretty much dead. But the voltage is going up quick, even at 2 watts. Which is, I don't know, that's weird. I'm probably not burning anything up with only 2 watts. Oh, it's slowing down though. The pace it's going up is slowing down, which is really good. That means I am probably charging the battery. So now we're at 20 volts. Let's see if it does anything with the charger. Nothing. Awesome. Okay. Oh, not 40. We're not ready for 40 yet. Let's turn up the current to maybe half an amp. What? Where'd it go? Oh, I need to turn off the output first. Okay, half an amp, which is 15 watts, which is still a fraction of what it would actually charge at. It charges at about 80 watts. So I'd be charging it at about 15 watts. Half an amp's a bit more. 15 watts would burn through something if it's wrong. But, you know what? It's broken anyway. If you're ever working on something broken and you're scared you're going to break it more, just keep telling yourself that. It's broken anyway. If I can actually get this stupid pin to make a decent amount of contact, that would be wonderful. If I could... God... This is what happens when you buy cheap things. They work, kind of. Okay. You actually connect, maybe? Oh, what? Oh, it's not happy. What's going on here? There we go. Oh, hey. Why aren't you... Oh. That could be worse. It might be the wire inside that's the problem. Okay. Take it easy. Okay, we're charging at 10 watts now, 11 watts. We're at 22 volts. So that is good. She is hungry. Which is expected. I left it on for a week. Even though the only drain is a couple LED lights and whatever the standby power is. Which probably shouldn't have killed the battery, but I guess it did. Even though it should have been full. I really have a hard time believing it killed the battery, but, I mean, it did kill the battery. It was sitting at 12 volts, which is way too low for a 36-volt battery. I wish I had a thermal camera just to make sure nothing's gonna blow up on me when I'm not looking at it. Move this back a little. You can see those numbers properly. The top number is the voltage, the middle number is the amperage, and the bottom number is the watts. And so basically I can set the amperage so it takes only so many amps. Right now I have it at half an amp, so it won't take more than half an amp. But it is clearly taking pretty much the full half an amp there. Because it's running about half the wattage as is the voltage, so. She is hungry. So we're at 26 volts now. while that's going, let me check this. Let me really look to make sure that this is actually 0 volts. Yeah, not even nothing. It is flat. Wow. Yeah, okay. This power supply might be the problem. Maybe the power supply broke and it just was so dead. Like, it could be a rare time where 2 things failed at the same time. Where the battery was just too dead to turn on the... Because I've never seen it too dead where it can't turn on the little lights on the speed controller on the handlebar. So that is weird that it wouldn't be able to do that. And then, of course, the power supply is not accepting problems. So maybe it's just a rare double issue. Which would be the greatest thing for me, because all I have to do is charge this like this for a little bit. And then order a new power supply for this thing. Which is not going to be fun, easy, or cheap. But it's a hell of a lot cheaper and a hell of a lot more fun than fixing any of these components. I can say that much. We're up to 27 volts. Almost 28. It's slowing down a lot. This thing has a charge time of about... when it was working, it was about like 3 or 4 hours from close to dead to fully charged. Of course, that meant close to dead being the battery, like I could still like ride it, like the motor'd still spin kind of dead. However, I should be able to get to the point where it'd turn on here pretty quick. What's basically going to happen now is I am going to take this downstairs, shove it back in the chassis, connect up the speed controller, and hopefully see the speed controller lights come on. If so, then it'll be case closed. And I just have to order this thing, which, yeah, that'll be fun. Not really, but hey, at least I'll know what's wrong. And it'll be fixable, too. So, I think I'm going to try to let it get to 30 volts here. Oh, shoot, dumbass. Hold on. It's not going to get to 30 volts because I only have it at 30 volts. So let's crank her up to 40 volts, right? This is charging at 42, right? Yeah, look what I have to deal with. Let me try to get this around here, but look at this. Can you read that? Does that look any sort of readable? No, this is awful. All the print is like font size -2. On top of that, it's as reflective as the plastic, so it's really hard to tell what any of these say. 40, and on top of it, some of it's getting worn away. Okay, 42 at 2 amps. All right. So 40 volts at, we'll keep it at 0.5 amp. Now, there's no way I'm getting this up to 36 volts within the stream, which is fine. I don't need it to be at 36 volts. I do not need it to be at 36 volts at all. I need it to probably be around 30 or 32. And that should be more than enough to actually probably run the motor a little bit. Although it's not going to do much more than a little sputter. But I really only need enough to have the lights turn on, basically. So hopefully that does it. Nothing should be getting warm. If anything's warm, I'm going to be very concerned. Because we're only charging at 15 watts. So the fact that everything is still cool, maybe the whole case just a little bit warmer than room temperature means that the batteries are charging. And I'm not feeling any hot spots, which is good. Okay, yeah, you can see now it's stuck at 29. It's really slowing down, which is good because that means we are now within the typical range of the battery. So now this is going to take really forever to charge up, which means that we are now out of the dead range and into the normal usage range. So we're going to try to get it up to 30. And hope that does it. Which means that basically my power supply failed and, well, I left it out for a week. But really, my power supply failed. Because if the power supply was working, then everything else would be still working. But it just looked like something more serious was wrong. You know, that is one hell of a battery. That'd be kind of fun to have. How many? 418 watt hours. That is wild. I could actually have, if I get a proper 12 volt regulator, I could actually have that could be like a laptop backup or something. I could do a lot with that. That could power a normal TV for about 2 to 4 hours. Which is that's crazy to think of. I'm really crazy. Well, I'm really going crazy with this because this battery is taking up a lot less of the space than I thought it was. This is really small for its size. You could get maybe another battery of that size. I've seen camera batteries that are that size that are not even half that. It's wild. Let me see here. Here is a lead acid in scale here. This is a 12 volt, 5 amp hour, which means it's about 60 watt hours compared to 412. You can see you'd maybe fit, 3 of these? Gives you, not even 200, not even half of that. So that's already more than twice as dense as lead acid. That is a really nice battery. Alright. We're creeping up on 30 volts. Alright. This is a part where I'm always most nervous. Is testing to see if it's actually going to work. I'm not going to lie, this bike's been through some rough abuse from me. It's had plenty of falls. I've already broken a bit of the mounting for this piece on the chassis. But I mean, the good thing though about it being a really early design is because when you have a new technology, they tend to be over-engineered to help fight against manufacturing defects. Which is also why you'll see electronics from the 70s and 80s and even 90s, they tend to be built like tanks, and they will never fail. And then you got, I mean, you buy something, you probably bought something in the past couple of years, and it breaks after a few years. And I'm not talking about iPhones. We all know those are designed to break, but like, yeah, like nowadays they're built with much more tighter regulations, like voltage wise and all that, so they can be a lot smaller, and they're not designed to like have to deal with manufacturing defects are a lot less common, so they can be built more small and efficient, which does mean that during more abuse they will break. They're a lot less hardy and sturdy. So even though, I mean, on one hand, you can get them a lot smaller because of that. Like, think, like, trace sizes on boards. Or, like, the little metal lines, how big those are. They used to be huge. They used to be so big. And now they're really small. Because they only need to be that big. But the smaller they are, the more prone they are to breaking. So, it's a double-edged sword. But this is a rather early on e-bike. Nothing like too experimental, but an early on mainstream e-bike. So it's definitely a little designed a bit better than it needs to be. Which is good. That means it's going to last a good bit more. Hopefully. Well, I could be saying that, and I might take it downstairs and it won't work. But we're at 30 volts. So we will take it downstairs. I will be back in a few... Ah! Don't do that. My backdrop fell. I will be back in a few minutes. More things are falling. Jesus. Whoa! We have life! The speed controller lit up. Well, only one, because it said it was very much dead, which it still is. But it lit up, which is great! So, that means the only problem is the power supply, which I don't know why I'm surprised by, because in my time with repairing so much crap, about 50 to 80% of the time, it's the power supply. Or some sort of power supplying circuit. "10% of the time, I open it up, and it works. The other 10, it's something else. Yeah, no, I'm not joking about that one, though. I literally open it up and all of a sudden it works. That's happened for multiple things. I don't even know why. And I'm not counting all the times where someone's like, hey, this isn't working, and I look at it and it just starts working. But, you know, that's just me at my job. Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. Put it back together and hope I didn't forget any screws. Thankfully, this isn't a laptop, so I'm probably not going to forget any screws. Was this... Where did this come from? That didn't come from here, did it? Great. I don't know. Get it out of here. We're going to pretend it did not come from here, and we're going to ignore that. We're going to pretend we never saw that. Alright. So, did I fix it? Well, that's debatable whether it was broken in the first place. However, I found out why it's not working, and it will be working. So, we'll just put it there. Problem is solved. Well, I actually have to find a fucking charger. Which is weird. Because I don't think I did anything to lead up to it not working. I don't know what the deal with the charger is. Yeah, that's a good question. What's wrong with it? Because the green light does come on. I'm not going to try to fix the power supply. Those are finicky and, more importantly, really dangerous to try to work on. Because if you try fixing the wrong thing, it's going to blow up. Those are not something you want to mess around with. It might be more expensive to replace it, but it is definitely worth your time and safety to just not try to fix a power supply unless it is rare and hard to find. Oh. Alright. Oh. Make sure none of the wires are hanging out. Okay. Well, nice to see that wrapped up. Looks like we got the good ending. Which also does mean I took this apart for nothing, but it was cool to look in it. I probably should have looked at the power supply first, but there was no harm in taking it apart this time, thankfully. Sometimes there is harm in taking it apart. You can't always get it apart in one piece. But I saw the Phillips screws and I was like, alright, this is probably going to be nice. Oh. That wrapped up quite nicely and quickly too. It's not even midnight. How about that? I don't know how tight to get these. I'm not gonna find out. Oh, that might be why. I think that's probably why I didn't see the speed controller lights, because those lights are not for the speed controller. There's just 3 lights, a red, a yellow, and a green, which are for showing how much battery there is. And those need to be, those are probably, now that I think about it, not electronically controlled. They're probably just LEDs with like resistors or whatever to get them to light up to when the battery is a certain voltage. And the voltage from the battery being so low, like only 12 volts, the red one, the one that's supposed to light up when it's like really low or low enough where the battery's gonna stop working. Wait, what? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The red one, well, the 12 volts probably isn't enough for that to light up entirely, so that's probably why I didn't even see that happen. Which would explain why the speed controller looks like it wasn't even getting power. Great, so those were all short, and this one's long. Where the hell does this go? Oh, you know, yeah. This was to mount it on the bike. That's what it was for. Shit. You gotta be kidding me. No way. Oh my, yep, I lost a screw. Okay, let's go. Every time. Well, no, maybe I didn't. That might be for mounting, actually. Okay, we're going to assume that's for mounting and that I did not lose a screw. Even that screw got lost when the bike fell at one point or another. Alright, well. I think that about wraps up tonight's stream. Thankfully, I didn't have to use any of these bad boys this time. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.